She like, give me one more chance. All I do is give her cash. She get the cash, she drop it so fast. She on the pole, she doing her dance. I'm like, mommy, come give me that stance. I'm like quarterback and she a hike. I don't give a reach out for she rocking the mic. She got hands, she gon' go out of sight. Take the moon and you rock it or not. She from Melbourne and I tell her she can go get her hair permed. She can go get her nails done. Then with me and my crew, she can run. She can do no backflips. I know she gymnastics. Working money flip like ass. In the air just for practice. She like, oh man, just give me one more chance. Will you come back? I'm like, hell no. I'll be gone to November. I'm not December.
Yo, check. Trying to make it back from the streets when it's safe. Focus on the rap game, not the flow, I got it mastered.
What's up? Welcome, everybody. You are now tapped into Who Got Game. I'm your host, Jason Zone Fisher, and welcome to another week. We are talking all things NBA, fantasy, basketball, hoops, sports, culture, the lifestyle. This is the place to be, and let's bring on my co-host, the man of the hour, of every hour of the day, Baron Davis, B. Diddy, BD. Welcome, my man. He was up late last night, I know, because there was an event that he was hosting. Baron just directed a new documentary on the history of K-Swiss and the basketball scene. What up, BD? How you doing, man?
What's up, my dog? I'm not hungover. I'm good. How you?
That's a theme. That's a theme every Monday. Yeah, right?
I got my can drink, though.
That's good. That's good. They're still not sponsoring us, though.
The sponsor, can.
All right. Well, they got to start. That's a jumbo size can. I've seen those high boys. Okay.
Ginger lemongrass.
Nice. I got to get me one of those. The tall boys.
I want to give a shout out to our new sponsor today.
Who's that?
Boost Me.
Oh, okay. What's up with Boost? Boost Compact. I don't even know what that is.
So Boost Me is, let's say, it's the Uber for car service. So if you broke down and you're in my neighborhood, right? Yeah. And you know how you have to call AAA?
Yeah.
This is a better replacement. You hit the app. I come out with my Boost Me kit. Boom, plug you up, give you a jump. Buy out, you pay me. Peer-to-peer, you know what I mean? A greater economy for access to quicker auto service and services when it comes to the automobile industry.
Okay, perfect. I didn't even know there was a need for that, but I like it. I'm all about that. We got comments coming in. People are all about it. I thought
and the great thing about Boost Me is you can go and buy a Boost Me and you can start a business.
Oh, you just boosting? I thought if you boosting cars for a living, that's not a good thing.
No, we're flipping it on its head.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. I got a cousin who used to boost cars for a living. I'm gonna get him up on this one.
Steal cars, no.
Yeah, no. All right.
They just tell me, the founders just tell me that I get to cut you out of the market.
All right, yeah. That's all right. I got my cousin's racket. He's boosting cars. Right. You're out of that. That's okay. You're out of that one.
Boosting. I'm gonna boost me.
Yeah. Hey, tell us about this documentary that you just debuted last night that you directed about K-Swiss. We all know the K-Swiss brand. We've heard of it, but it means a little something extra special to you because really, I mean, your whole childhood was ingrained with the K-Swiss brand. It meant something special to you, and you put that into a new doc that just came out last night.
Yeah, I would say for me, being a part of K-Swiss as a kid, it opened the door for me. It gave me an opportunity to play basketball for my first AAU team. Play on the same team with Paul Pierce. I play with Corey Benjamin. I play with Jason Hart. A ton of other dudes come from the LA area, and I think for me, being able to direct the documentary, it was really to give roses to my AAU coach, tell his story, give roses to Dazo, the first, Black designer from Compton, and K-Swiss, K-Swiss going to Compton, over 20 years ago, and Dazo, creating, his brand. So K-Swiss in LA had a lot of culture and a lot of history. And when we were talking to him, it was like, yo, let's put this together. You know what I mean? Let's tell this story. Yeah. And shout out to K-Swiss, shout out to Barney Waters and his whole team, and just, saying yes to a story, you know what I mean? And I think, it's just so fitting for LA, and I love telling LA stories. And I think this was a fun and unique one, and one we can continue to keep expanding on, because there's just so many different layers, to that little AAU basketball team.
Absolutely, man. It's a great documentary. Everyone should check it out. They can. If you go to the SLiC Instagram, on SLiC Facebook. Actually, why don't we take a little quick look at the trailer for it? Because
cool.
Hearing about it's great, but let's take a quick look. So give everyone a sneak peek. They're going to want to see more.
When you from LA, your whole mission is trying to find, like, how can I creatively be the brand that I want to be?
K-Swiss was founded as a tennis brand, and tennis was really centered around the country club.
Everybody wore K-Swiss.
And it branded our community.
You know what, like, I have something to work for, and I need to get it done.
K-Swiss made basketball shoes, but it was really the classics.
All right. Hey, that was dope. And I can't wait to see more. We're also going to be giving away a pair
man, you talking about dope. You talking about boosting. What is going on with you, dog?
Hey, man, I don't have a can over here. You got to share the can. All right.
Speaking of can, I think it's time. You hear that? It's like, man.
Ooh, that is fresh.
Hot like a burr.
Nice. Hey, we're giving away a pair of K-Swiss shoes. We want everyone to check out the documentary. So I know that it was just posted in the chat what you can do to follow SLiC on Instagram, and make sure to tag them, use the appropriate hashtags. There you go. You see it right there. And we're going to give away some K-Swisses, but everyone should check out the doc as well.
We should tweet that too. We should tweet that we are, why don't I tweet this right now?
This is how it happens. So this is how you make it happen. That's right. Now, while you're over there, social media guru, tweeting out to the masses, making it happen, let's bring on the commissioner of our fantasy basketball league, who's got the worst team in the league, but he does have insane basketball knowledge. Trey Edwards. What's up, Trey? How you doing, man?
What's good, man? BD always hits me, man.
You're representing the USC. We got USC and UCLA in the Elite Eight right now. Okay.
Hey, man, the hate is real, man. It's for LA overall, man. Yeah, I do have the worst team. I've been the worst player. I've been having the worst team since we started, and I don't think
you're
that's
consistent.
Change.
You're consistent.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you can't trade, you can't do anything, you can't sign anybody to change it. Like I've all my players are hurt, so I just tapped out at this point.
We can go back to the first episode when everybody was just talking crazy.
Oh man, I was talking big cash, and I had to hang it in.
Yeah, but everybody was just saying how bad my team was, and what did I say? I'm gonna be there in the end.
Were you in the mix? Where you at right now?
Let's take a look at the standings right there. Bardo, 11 out of 14. Even out of 14.
Oh, man. He tried to get a play-in game or something.
Man, I'm too.
Yeah, Trey, let's see your record. Let's see your record.
It's terrible. I'm the worst. 2-12.
Past first, 2-12. I'm in second place, 11-3.
I'm one game out of 8th place.
Man, that's
I'm one win out of 8th. Look at
sick brag.
Is that good? That's not good. That's not so good.
This one.
Wow. Yeah, only one beat out of 8th place.
I got more points than everybody too.
Well, that doesn't really matter. It's all about the matchup.
So when the tiebreaker come, bro.
Well, we'll see. But before we get into all that, Trey, you are repping USC. BD, we know you're always repping UCLA. Both your squads are in the Elite Eight. How you feeling about your chances of making the Final Four? And BD, what are you going to be doing for the big game tomorrow night?
Go ahead, BD. You can start.
We're going to be at SLiC Studios, of course, you know, watching it on the big screen, just enjoying this, you know, Elite Eight. I think it's time. I think we got a chance, man. You know, I don't want to say too much and be bragging and all that. I let SE brag because they never really been there before. So I pass it off to Trey.
I'm just pro LA, man. I'm out in New York, bro, so I'm repping LA hard. I didn't go to either one of these.
LA gear?
I got some. Yeah, actually, I'm waiting on them to switch to brands.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just getting real nasty. They ain't really putting nothing else out yet. And I was already talking about them looking crazy in them other uniforms with Nikes on. So when the fits get a little bit better. But honestly, like, I'm happy that UCLA and USC are holding it down for the city because the city's on fire. Obviously, when LeBron gets back, we'll start talking about the Lakers again. But they did sign Drummond, so that's good. But, like, man, the city, you could tell maybe some recruits actually stay home. Or we get some recruits that normally go back east to come back to the west. Because, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. Pac-12 is cracking.
Cracking.
Yeah.
Oregon State, cracking. Shout out to Oregon, too, for getting there. But I do like SC. I think they well coached. And, you know, Evan Mobley, you know, the Mobley brothers, they just, you know, when you got that type of interior play, and then they got some good guards too. They got some solid guards. They got talent. They got good coaching. And you know, big shout out to SC. But you know, it's Bruins to the art over here, and you know, I think we have all of the ingredients, you know, to win every game we play, right? Because we have more depth than a lot of teams, and we starting to show that now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, you showed it. Your leading scorer was fouled out of the game, and without him all of overtime, I mean, you just pulled away and dominated over Alabama. But that game was wild last night, and I know you were hosting this event too. Describe what that moment was when Alabama hit that three to send it to overtime. What was going through your mind? What were you thinking as that went down?
I mean, you know, one, you want to throw something at the TV, but you're like, hey, man, we got some time. We got time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stay focused. This is a part of the tournament. You know, that's the beauty of the tournament. It's like somebody cheering, somebody feeling a little heartbreak. You know, felt like the game could have been over, but, you know, it was just like, all right, let's focus. Let's hunker down. Let's focus. And that's what we did.
Yeah. It speaks about the resilience of that squad, though, to overcome a moment like that when all the momentum completely shifts, and then for them to come out so strong and really dominate that overtime period. And now they're bringing a lot of momentum into this next round. Things are going to get a lot tougher for both UCLA and for USC, with some number one seeds standing in the way, Michigan and Gonzaga. So that's going to be fun, man. College basketball has been fun, but now that we're down to the Elite Eight and then we get the Final Four, it's really all the focus is going to shift back to the NBA. And the league looks a lot different today than it did this time last week before the trade deadline. I want to bring in one of our other guys from our league and co-hosts and commentators, Pavi. Pavi's going to be joining us as well. What's up? Pavi is at a balloon supply store right now. What's up, Pavi?
Pavi? He boosting balloons.
Yeah, I'm like a vibe capsule right now. You know, yeah.
Wow, Pavi celebrated.
Talking with he been in the back sucking helium. We can't even hear
Yo, sucking helium is crazy.
Sucking helium.
That's a sick move, dude.
Pavi celebrating his mediocre fantasy squad, having a better record than BD and Trey.
Whoa. Look, the thing about my fantasy squad, man, is I've had so many injuries, bro. I got Steph and Embiid hurt. What do you want me to do?
Well, I mean, don't pick injury-prone players, maybe.
Don't pick those players.
What you mean? What you? I mean,
yeah.
Who traded Steph and Embiid? Embiid was an MVP before he fell out.
Well,
yeah,
you gotta.
But you gotta know how to anticipate that, bro.
Yeah, you gotta pick them with some. Pick up some icy hot if you're picking them on your squad too. You need some bandages and some ace bandages with them. All right. Well,
I'm down to take the John Wall trade now.
Oh yeah, a little late. I've been offering that trade all year. I've been offering you John Wall.
In my queue.
Well, it's because the trade deadline passed. Because
it was this week.
No, it passed. Tell your godson, Sergio or whatever is the Cosimo. Yeah, Cosimo is sleeping. Your godson with it. Trade deadline passed. It's over. So you're stuck with that squad now. I want to talk about the NBA trade deadline, though, the real trade deadline, because a lot of moves happened. We had the Orlando Magic had a fire sale. Vucevic ends up on the Bulls. Now they've got 2 All-Stars in Chicago. We got Aaron Gordon in Denver already making an impact with his debut last night, and Evan Fournier to the Celtics. Rondo moved to the Clippers for Lou Williams. Victor Oladipo is about to start balling for the Miami Heat. Norman Powell went to the Blazers. George Hill in Philly. Let's go around. Trey, why don't we start with you? Because I know you've been talking a lot about this week. Who were some of the winners and losers of the trade deadline? Who improved their chances to win it all this year and help themselves, and who maybe didn't do enough?
The biggest winners right now, I think, was the Bulls. Just a whole culture reset. They got some guys that can play and help them immediately. I like what Denver did as well. So those 2 moves specifically changed the culture and put them in a situation, like, not to win it all or anything like that, but just help them. Like, if the Bulls are trying to make a push to make the playoffs and go as, I guess, peak 6 seed, or play-in, that's the move you make right there. As far as Denver, losing Jeremy Grant was a huge hit to them. Because Jeremy Grant could defend and things like that. And now you get Aaron Gordon. You don't need Aaron Gordon to score a lot of points, but you do need him to buy in and play on the defensive end. His debut last night was pretty decent. We'll see what he can add a little bit more to help the Nuggets.
Yeah, I got him on my squad. I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, BD, who do you think improved enough? And did the Clippers do enough? There was rumors, like, could they get Kyle Lowry, Lonzo Ball? They didn't. They did add Rondo, and we know about playoff Rondo. Is that going to be enough for them to be in that echelon competing with the Lakers for the title?
Defense wins championships. They went out, got one of the smartest guards in the league, somebody who is defensive minded and somebody who now can, handle the ball. That was the Clippers' problem. I always said that was the Clippers' problem all year, is when they get an initiator, you get Kawhi, you get Paul George off the ball, you get them running lanes, getting easy layups. Now people got to close out. Now, it's not 9 people looking at Kawhi bringing the ball up, 9 people looking at Paul George, when he bringing the ball up, right? So now you got to worry about Rondo, because Rondo is dangerous with the pass. So that means back cuts, it means pick and rolls. And at the end of the day, the Clippers lose leads because they don't have a point guard. That's not going to happen with Rondo. He's going to protect that ball. He's going to post Kawhi up. He's going to figure out how to make adjustments. And that is why you need a point guard in order to be successful in the league. And I think the Clippers are going to be so much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
And he's a leader too, just that leadership. I mean, it's not just the X's and O's, but when, they face adversity last year, they didn't have someone to bring them all together, to rally troops, to withhold, get past through the storm. And I feel like Rondo will do that for them for sure. Pavi, how about you? What do you think, man? Who was the biggest winner of the trade deadline and maybe one of the biggest losers by not making a move or not making enough of a move?
The biggest winner, one of the biggest winners, I want to talk about my hometown team, Chicago. I mean, it's been well documented. I go back and forth with Bulls fans all the time. They were talking about Jim Boylen wasn't the best coach. I said, I never thought he was a great coach, but I also thought the roster was very, very lacking. And when you just look at this Bulls roster, people had Gar Forman and just the whole impact of that era. If you're a fan, like I talked to my dad a lot, he's like, man, the Bulls never make trades. They never do anything. Like, if you're a fan of the Bulls, you look at him like, you know what, we're trying to win. And also a guy like Zach LaVine. I think Zach LaVine is a guy who has MVP type candidate potential. To me, you're investing in Zach LaVine. I think Zach LaVine is a great guard. He's one of the best young guards, arguably the best shooting guard in the league outside of James Harden, if you consider Harden even a shooting guard at this point. And bringing in 2 legit all-stars. The Bulls haven't had 2 legit all-stars since I was 21. I'm about to be 30 next month. So in like 9 years, they haven't had 2 legit all-stars. And also bringing in a guy like Daniel Tice. I think Daniel Tice is a really, really good backup center. And then for the Magic, I think they did the right thing. I think that a fire sale was probably what they needed to do. I don't think that this roster was really going anywhere. I think the best thing that they can maybe be is a 7th, 8th seed. Also, they do have a lot of young guys. Like you drafted Mo Bamba, you have to see what you have in Mo Bamba. Even if it is nothing, you have to see that you have nothing. And I don't think that with Vucci being there, you were ever going to see that out of Bamba and what he actually has to bring to the table. And also Portland, bringing in Norman Powell, at least with solid. And also I'm just happy that they're trying. Like they're trying not to waste Dame's prime. They're trying to do everything that they possibly can to win basketball games. They finally brought in a third scorer, and I'm happy that they did that because when I look at Dame, sometimes I'm like, yo, I feel like sometimes he got too much on him. And it's like, you still 6'1", 6'2", and even the Miami game, I see him coming up limping a little bit more than I've ever seen Dame come up limping now. And it's like, you know what, just get somebody else outside of season that you just throw the ball to and be like, you know what, make something happen. So Portland, I really like what they did. And if there's any year to really go after it, I think this year is a year. The Lakers, we don't know what they have. The Clippers, there's still question marks with them. There's question marks with everybody in the West. So if you're going to go at it, I think this year is the year to go at it. So those 2 teams are 2 teams I look at. 3 teams, the Blazers, the Magic, and the Bulls. And I look at what they did with the trade deadline, and I'm satisfied and I commend them for it.
It was a busy trade deadline, the most trades and with the most players being moved on one day in NBA history. I think there was over 16 deals that went down in that one day. It was crazy. Woj and Shams are working overtime over there. Their thumbs must be tired. But I think maybe the biggest loser is the Philadelphia 76ers. They added George Hill. He's a good point guard. I mean, he's not bad, but is that enough? Is that enough to beat Brooklyn, to beat Milwaukee, to beat LA, either of the LA teams in the finals, if they were to make it that far? I don't know. I mean, Kyle Lowry, he's been in Toronto for feels like his whole career, even though he started in Houston and Memphis. He's been there a long time, but he wanted to go back home and play for his hometown team, the Philadelphia 76ers. They couldn't make that happen, and I don't think they improved enough to get it done, in my opinion. So I see them as someone that didn't add enough pieces when really people were expecting them to. I don't know what you guys think about that. Is George Hill?
When does Embiid get back? Is he done for the year?
He's not done for the year. He'll be back, but they're going to be
solid, man. They didn't really, sometimes you don't really need to do much, right? And, they were already, top of the league. They had good chemistry. They have good chemistry. They have a system that they're buying into. And when you bring in a George Hill, you're just bringing in a veteran guard that, can get you a couple wins if he has a good game. You know what I mean? And so George Hill can't hurt you. He can help you.
Yeah, it was super low risk. Yeah. It was low risk instead of, trying to go
high reward. You know what I mean?
Because, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I know everybody wanted, Lowry to be a Sixer and wanted them to, throw the gamble of letting go Matisse and Tyrese Maxey, and it's just like you don't do that. You know what I mean? Like especially the direction that they're in first. They've been in first all year. Why mess that up or mix it up a little bit? You know what I mean? If you can get something for cheap, which George Hill was, at the end of the day, it didn't change too much.
Remember, when you bring in a Kyle Lowry, the dynamics of ball touches, who holds the ball, percentages of the time. The reason why Rondo worked with the Clippers is because Paul George and Kawhi should have the ball in their hands less. You know what I mean? But if you do that to Philadelphia, then, you're eliminating, your 2 guys who take the majority of the, of the time, 3 guys that take majority of the time with the ball. So, you gotta be aware of that too, when you're talking about, teams and matchups, and even Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn is stacked and they have a, incredible offensive power team, but, they do have to buckle down on defense because there's one basketball, right? They got multiple dudes that can get hot. They got an incredible system. I think James Harden, just deserves way more credit than he gets, you know what I mean? But if they put it all together, they're an incredible offensive power. But, are they going to defend, right?
I will say, though, they tightened up, BD.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, they have been playing better.
Yeah.
They've been playing better basketball. The rest of the guys have to defend. You know what I mean? Like, they can't get trigger happy because they're going to be open. They have to really focus. They have to have a Bruce Bowen mentality, right? So that's what Brooklyn role players need. They need to be Bruce Bowen, Raja Bell oriented, and just be defensive,
It's only like one guy that does that, though. I will say that. That just,
Bruce Brown.
you know what I mean? Bruce Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Bruce Brown,
that
my
really
guy.
puts his hard hat on. I think it's going to be more so. And that thing, they have rim protection. I think the perimeter.
But the rim protectors gotta protect. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Sometimes that shit is fool's gold. You know what I mean? Because if a team is scoring 130, 140 points and you beating them by 4, 5, 8 points, and you ain't got 10, 12 blocks, you got 2 seconds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They stopped. They
should
stopped
walk
giving
in
up
there.
so many points now. That's the thing. Everybody's actually having effort and saying, I got pride in this. And again, they beat Detroit the other night and said, we're not even happy about this win. So the mentality is changing in the locker room. Guys are understanding. I think the biggest test, the pushback, is Nash trying to figure out what 9 is he going to go with in the playoffs. Because they have a good problem with depth, but okay, if Claxton's playing well and he's protecting he got a double-double, 10 rebounds, 16 points, and 3 blocks, are you going to say, but I ain't played Blake. I ain't played LaMarcus. Sometimes guys just not going to play.
Yeah, they got LaMarcus too.
Yeah. So, they got
games got to all work together and complement each other. But if LaMarcus go to the 5, now you got to score.
Well, yeah,
5.
he's going to be traditionally 5. All his minutes are going to be at the 5 now.
So
which takes KD out of the 5 now, so he'll be strictly
you
wing.
Can play LaMarcus and KD together, and LaMarcus can stretch too, and he can guard. And he can guard a 5.
Yeah.
That's a pretty scary.
They still got one more spot left too. So
I'll take it.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
come on,
let's go.
Me personally, yes, I do think that they need to get better defensively, obviously, but also I'm still looking for an uptick in their offense. Like when I looked at this team constructed on paper, I thought they would have the highest offensive rating ever. I'm not sure if it's the highest ever, or if it is the highest ever, it's not the highest ever by the standards that I want it to be the highest ever. I've also seen
Brooklyn. By your standards?
Yeah, no, but
what is Pavi standards? Because they're playing. Listen,
I thought they could do a 122 or 123 or 124. I really honestly thought that. And I've seen at times this team.
But they don't run. They don't run. Like, it's very rare that they run.
Well, we still haven't seen them at full strength, though. I mean, KD has been out for a minute. Kyrie's been out.
Misses.
Yeah, so they play a lot of half-court ball, bro.
And that's also why I thought that KD and Kyrie needed to both be 50, 40, 90 players this season. Kyrie was that. I'm not sure if he still is that. I haven't looked at the stats. And I think KD was close to that. But that's also why I thought both of them needed to be 50, 40, 90 players. Because if you miss shots, you're going to let other teams run out and things like that. So, we'll see with the Nets. But I'm not still solely convinced on the Nets at this point in time.
Well, as you mentioned, they just added LaMarcus Aldridge, another
Anytime
great.
you got all that firepower, bro, you got to figure it out. It's only one shot to take. You know what I mean? It's only one person can shoot the ball.
And they got your stepbrother coaching, Steve Nash, BD. We saw you posted this week. You guys back in the day.
I'm going to go whoop his ass if they don't win the championship.
That's
Steve
right.
Nash, I'm going to come whoop your ass if y'all don't win. I ain't playing.
Yeah, seriously.
Steve Nash.
You let him know.
Sick tone, man.
That's too much talent. Too much talent not to win. But with the buyout market opening up, Andre Drummond goes to the Lakers, was just announced yesterday too, which is huge because so many of these teams playing small ball, and we're talking about, LaMarcus can play the 5 and they do have DJ, but not many teams can match up with, if the Lakers are healthy, Drummond, AD, LeBron at the 3, 4, and 5. That's a scary front court right there. I mean, I don't know who can face up against that. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, that Drummond signing is huge. I know a couple different teams are courting him, but he goes to the Lakers, kind of balances out what happened in Brooklyn.
Zone, let me shake the table though.
Yeah, please.
Please.
Here's the thing. I like that move. I like that AD is coming back soon, like in a couple of days. But how does LeBron? What if we've always looked at LeBron as invincible, right?
Yes.
And he won't be back for the next 4 weeks. And maybe what if he comes back those next 4 weeks, not the same? Not saying a huge drop off, but he's still kind of grimacing.
Sure.
And I'm sure probably overworked it.
I'm with you, Trey.
What messes up the chances? I'm playing devil's advocate at this point because a lot of people are looking at it in a situation of like, oh, it's a done data. And BD, you know all about this as far as getting hurt and how something, just even the flow of adding one guy, adding two guys to the mix. And you say, casual fans will say, oh yeah, we got this in the bag. But AD still got to find his rhythm. Still got to find his conditioning. You know what I'm saying? So other guys are going to get their reps, but they haven't even put everything together. So when LeBron does come back, what is the demand that you want from him? You know what I mean? Like, good thing they're winning basketball games still, so they don't have to like put a piece of tape on a leak and hope that it's fixed that way. So LeBron is not going to have to work extra hard.
Lakers have a good team.
He's 36 years old again with his second serious injury in his career. So now, are we asking him to completely pay? We are talking about LeBron, but are we talking about? This is the thing. As everybody bets on Tom Brady, I'm sure everyone's betting on LeBron the same energy and saying there's no way anything happens. But I'm just being hypothetical in this situation and saying, what if? You can't guarantee because how basketball works. One injury messes up everything.
Yeah, we don't play by what if, so.
Of course, but who won the Super Bowl?
So you stamping it already.
Who was the Super Bowl MVP this year?
Malcolm Butler.
Yeah, no, it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, until LeBron, I don't doubt LeBron ever until he proves me wrong. You know, even though he's 36.
Can Dennis Schroeder line up with Kyrie Irving?
Yeah.
No, I mean, no. We're not doing that. No,
but it's about more than that. It's about more than that.
I hear you. Nah, listen. The same way they're gonna get that fade down there. As soon as they get it out the net, they're gonna have to catch that fade down there too.
But you know.
Nah, Trey, I'm with you, and that's also why I didn't pick the Lakers this season. I mean, if they get healthy, then forget everything I'm talking about. But again, like you said, LeBron.
This might be the first year that the Lakers actually got picked to win.
Healthy, forget everything he's talking about.
Yeah, if they get healthy, but I don't think. But listen, BD, I don't think they're. But I don't think that they're going to get 100% healthy to the standard that they need to be. And also what he just said with Braun, like, yeah, I mean, we always have seen Braun heal and Braun look invincible, but you still 36 and you a human. And like you said,
he's 36 and he is a human.
That's
he's been a human since he's been here.
But you 36, bro. You trying to get. But you're trying to get this man back off a high ankle sprain. You don't want to have to compromise something else because, like you said, you're overworking him.
But do you see how he plays? He's going to be able to work himself back. It ain't like he taking off. And
but does he work himself back too hard, though, BD? That's the thing. That's my question. We know that. We know he going to work it right now. Listen, if it was up to him, no one's questioning that. By the way, here, Flo. For you,
Flo, if
you know
y'all
what I'm
want
saying?
Hey, dude. Speaking of, go ahead, finish your point.
Only thing I was saying was that we know that he's going to. If it was up to him, he would try to play tomorrow. We know that he's going to work hard and put the money into his body to get back to where he needs. Whether it's sleeping in the chamber, whether it's ice, not talking to nobody, being off social, whatever it is that works for Bron, we know that he's going to put the work in. But this is his second serious injury in his career.
What was the first one? The hamstring?
The one
2 years ago.
The groin where he missed the playoffs.
But again, that year also, let me say, it was a serious injury, but that team was.
They were the 4th seed before he got hurt.
Nah, but that's it. They knew they didn't have it that year, and that was his vacation mode year.
So
he was
a different position. He is playing point guard for the Lakers.
Right.
So he
Right.
ain't, you know what I mean? He ain't doing a lot.
I mean, he's
Like,
scoring
as far
30s.
as, like,
That's a lot.
huh?
Easily.
Hey, he's scoring 30. So if we saying that they're not scoring
No,
30s
but I'm
is not a
saying, but he
lot,
doing it
DD.
from the point guard position. So a lot of the shit he doing is just down here. Or
Right.
pull up Jays. When you watch LeBron now, he playing a refined. He don't play offense like Harden, but he playing a hell of a point guard game, and you can get by being a little injured as a point guard, as long as you don't have to chase some little dudes around, right? I remember when I played, most of my career hurt, ankle sprains, hamstring, even in the playoffs against Dallas, like I had a pulled hamstring. Going into the series, pulled it in the series, but I could guard Devin George. You know what I mean? And so I could still come down and go
I'm
down
just
here.
saying, July hit different, as the kids say. July hit different, bro. And I want the king around for a long time, man. You feel me?
I don't think they're gonna rush him back though.
That's what I'm
they're gonna
saying.
take it
4
slow.
weeks. Listen, first of all, 4 weeks sounds too quick. His mom hopped on Clubhouse and said that.
Gloria James was on Clubhouse saying 4
my
weeks.
God, you gonna say his mom? What his mom talking about?
No, that's what I'm saying. But I've always had him out 6 weeks because I know high ankle sprains are either 6 weeks to 3 months. Now,
but you know, LeBron James is made of titanium.
That's the thing, though. You still a human, bro.
Yeah, LeBron, I don't doubt it. They're going to be smart with him. They're going to take his time coming back, especially now with adding Drummond to take a little bit more off. That they've got AD will be coming back soon. He's going to be all right. I'm not worried about it, and I think it's going to be LA versus Brooklyn in the matchup that the league, they want. The East Coast versus West Coast, and all these superstars feeling like an all-star game out there, brand name players. That's what I think it's going to be. There's Utah looks good. The Clippers just added Rondo. We talked about. We got the Bucks.
Watch out for the Clippers, though.
You
know what I mean? Because they can make the game ugly, right? Watch how they change now with Rondo, dude. They can develop a really, really like counterintuitive identity to the league.
Yeah.
Right? They can become the bad boys of the NBA.
They need that. They need that edge.
Once they develop that mentality, they're going to be good. And I think having Rondo there, they still got Pat Beverly, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So now that gives him the opportunity to come off the bench. And now Pat Beverly, I always say if Pat Beverly came off the bench, he'd be a candidate for 6th man of the year every year, just his energy alone, his rebound and his intangibles. Now you bringing all that shit in the second half of the first stage of the game. You know what I mean? In the second part of the first quarter. Oh man, he gonna turn it up, right? And so it's gonna be hard for guards coming off the bench, right? Backup guards and people like that to deal with that energy. Now, going against the Dames and the CJ McCullers, it disrupts the flow of the Clippers offense because he gets in foul trouble a lot because these dudes are not bothered by him. Right? But when you get them backup guards and people like that, he going to harass the shit out of them. And then it's going to save him from the fouls. And then he's going to harass the starting point guards. And you can protect the Patrick Beverly. You know what I mean? So if the Clippers play him right with Rondo, he can be the guy who just fucks the game up all the time.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, Trey, just as you were saying, LeBron is made of titanium. You prove that your laptop is not, and it died on us. But
yeah,
you're back.
That's my fault, y'all. I thought I thought I had the surge protector on, but it was off.
You got to get that LeBron power source, man.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, Trey, I do know that you got to run though, so we appreciate you coming back and joining us again this week, man. Really appreciate your time and insight as always.
Always.
Any wise words you want to leave us with, or any future sponsors you want to plug?
Honestly, I mean, whatever BD's pushing, support that.
Look,
check out the K-Swiss doc.
Hey, I mean, in New York,
Boost me.
Yeah, you need your car jumped. You need your car fixed. You hit the button. Boom. Somebody come out their apartment. They laced you. Man, $10. You ain't gotta wait. Sit there waiting for AAA. Oh man, where you at? Now you gotta text AAA. You gotta tell them where you at. Man, like nobody's disrupted that space, man. So
maybe a Boost should do a collab with like Tinder or something. It's a nice way to meet people too.
That would be a great.
That would be kind of
maybe it's like, yo, boost my car, boost me up too, ladies. Come on, let's go. Boost it up.
We should do that with Bumble too.
That's right. Bumble it up.
That would be sick.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, equal opportunity on this show.
Boost and Bumble. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, good. Well, perfect, Trey. You leave us on that note. We appreciate it, man. And we will look out for your fantasy squad ending the season.
Don't check my squad.
Pop that graphic up one more time. So Trey,
is there any hope for you not to finish in dead last? Can we see the standings?
No.
Any hope? No. You're cemented. Dead last. All right.
Yeah.
Are you done? You done? You last? No catching up?
Yes, it's impossible.
What was the penalty for coming in dead last? I forget. I feel like we set something. I feel like there's some penalties coming your way here.
You gotta walk around with dog boo boo and
yeah, we're not doing that
in New York in the summertime.
Yeah,
that's true. You did sign the waiver for the league. That was in there. That was the fine print.
Boo boo. That's crazy.
Nice.
Yo, I'll holler at y'all, man.
All right, Trey. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, no doubt.
Repping LA hoops.
All right.
Nice. All right. Well, we've had a lot of big moves in the league coming out this week with the trade deadline. Now we've got a lot of basketball coming up. The Elite Eight kicks off tonight. We got 2 games and then 2 more games tomorrow. Let's bring on our producer and another guy from our league who I'm actually facing him this week, TPJ. TPJ, what's up, man?
Oh, yeah. You ready to
win? Hey,
it's coming in hot.
Look, I'm not going to lie. My team is marginally better than yours, BD. So it's going to be a stretch. Look at the record.
It's going to be a stretch.
It's marginally better than yours. So it's going to be a stretch. Actually, we got the same record.
The Mid-City Attacks.
I don't know.
Mid-City Max, that's Noah. And then Killing Me Softly is Zach.
Yeah.
I'm going
to catch you this week, though, Jason.
All right.
Donovan Mitchell gonna have a real big game for me.
Okay, well, Mitchell's playing amazing, but
it wasn't as Pavy. Can you do me a favor and stop saying it was a bad draft?
From where you picked
it was not. I picked.
It was better picks, bro.
My first picks were Domantas Sabonis and Kawhi Leonard. Stop saying I drafted him early, bro. I drafted him where he was supposed to be drafted in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Fuck out of here. You a hater.
Sabonis?
Yeah, what's wrong with Sabonis?
Sabonis is a great fantasy pick. Sabonis is for fantasy
first round.
Nah, he is because you can double every night.
Well, I think I picked
Sabonis is averaging 29.77.
I swear you picked Donovan first, G.
How did I pick him when Kawhi is? How when Kawhi and
Kawhi first? I think you picked Kawhi first, Donovan second, and then Sabonis, bro. I think that's what happened.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened.
No, bro. I picked Kawhi and DeMontis, and then I picked Donovan Mitchell. I also have Donovan Mitchell in 2 of my fantasy leagues. That was the mistake.
Shout out Donovan, not for fantasy. Shout out Donovan, though.
Yeah, shout out Donovan. He's great if you want to win games, not if you want to play fantasy, though. He just gonna score on 13 to 39%. I'm sorry, on 13 to 39 shooting.
Hey,
well,
man.
What?
I can
on your heels.
I'm looking up the draft results.
If Paige screws up this week, who we should have on the show.
That's right.
That means. Yeah, if she gonna wind up starting like Tim Hardaway, I need Tim Hardaway to just not show up this week. That'll be nice.
So now, technically, me and BD would face off in the first round of the Toilet Bowl, which is the losers bracket.
No, I'm not going to the Toilet Bowl, bro. We got how many weeks left? 3?
No, 2. 1 more. And you play me for week 16. I'm definitely winning.
Ooh,
I'm definitely winning. Steph,
look, I get 2 wins.
Steph and B gonna be back. I'm definitely winning.
Good luck.
I'm definitely winning.
Good luck. None of you are catching me though.
The funniest part was BD face. He was just like, He couldn't
We
even
gotta
say
get
that.
Zach Lemon out of here.
I picked
How do we
10th
get
overall.
Zach out? We gotta somebody beat Zach. Take Zach out.
Yeah.
And Noah needs to lose. Let me see the board again, man.
This man Trey is so bad. He got to buy in the toilet bowl.
No, he got to buy to the championship in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, he's the worst.
And Horford is out too. And
Right.
they just sent Horford home for the year.
Horford, you might as well cut Al Horford.
Hey,
he's
BD,
done.
what do you think about that? What do you think about them sending guys home for the year? It's like 30 games left, and it's like, yo, we don't want you to play no more this year. We want you to just sit at home and get paid. How do you feel about that? I mean, as a player, I'm sure you're cool with the money, but like, I mean, Al Horford to me is a Hall of Fame caliber player, especially if you include his college career. And I feel like this is going to look bad as he ends his career when he still has been playing at not an all-star level, but at least a right below all-star level. I think now his career to me is basically kind of over. I don't really know where he goes from here. He's still got 2 years left on his deal. I think $52 million. And they don't want him to play. It's a team option for the last year. Okay,
Yeah,
so he has 1 year left, $26 million. But what are your thoughts on that, on like those situations, and also on the buyout market? Because I've been reading and seeing a lot of comments from people saying that they don't like the buyout market. How you feel about that?
I don't know why they sent him home. Can they make the playoffs?
No, but I think they just want. They said they want to give their young guys a chance.
Well, yeah, I mean, they just signed Moses Brown, their young guy, to a contract extension. He's been balling. They want to see how their prospects develop.
I mean, to me, that don't make no sense. You sign Moses Brown, you send Al Horford home, and so you just gonna develop this dude by himself and not watch a veteran kind of scale his minutes. Let him stay in shape. Let him mentor Moses. Let him root for Moses. Let Moses have a mentor. That's why the league, and some of these teams be screwed up. Because they think that they are, they think that God gave them the recipe and the ingredients to make these young guys good. And so what's happening in the league is every time you get rid of a veteran guy, you get rid of the history, you get rid of the stories, you get rid of all the intangible things you need. And so Moses Brown, who I love from UCLA, he been balling, but like, why the fuck wouldn't you want Al Horford around?
I believe that they said that that he will still be working out at the facility and practicing with them, but that's not the same. But but like at the same time, like
he can't play at the home games.
Yeah, but exactly. And this is the thing, even on the road, him just being there and being an active participant, even when they getting killed, presence. Like, I don't understand that. Terrence Ross is the oldest player on the Orlando Magic. Do you all know that?
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
Like 28,
that's
29.
crazy. There's no more vets in the NBA. Like the veteran is like a lost art.
Right, and that's why you see the level of the competitiveness and the competition. You know what I mean? That's why the games just don't have no like anytime you be like, all right, okay, we got Dame versus Steph. It's like, it's a miss. You gotta have them dudes in the back on the bench talking that shit, programming these young dudes, getting them. It's like there is something about the community of somebody going out, somebody coming in, and dudes in the in between phase of like their transition in the league. So you learn a lot. As you, starting to come into the NBA, and then as you going out the NBA, you learning so much more that you got so much more to give, right? And that becomes the advantage of some of these dudes turning into all-star superstars or not. You know what I mean? And so, even take, for instance, you look at Houston, what they got down there. They have no veterans.
Yep. None.
Would John Wall be a veteran?
No veterans.
I mean, he's a vet, but like he's not like a vet
back
though.
From an injury, and
Eric Gordon's still there.
Eric Gordon is not a veteran player. You know, he
he's
has
been around.
veteran years, but he's not an outspoken. You know what I mean? He's like he's a role player. He's a shooter.
Sure,
he ain't gonna say much. You know what I'm saying? But he needs a senior advisor. Yeah. You know what I mean? To keep him charged up. You feel what I'm saying? Because he's still young.
right?
Yeah.
You got to think these dudes 28, 27, you're like, that's young. When you hit 32, that's when you're supposed to be getting on the other side and like where your basketball skills pick up and you see the game better and you know how to like cheat. You know what I mean? And not cheat in a bad way. Not cheat in a bad way.
I know what you mean.
But you know, like not to overexert energy. Right?
For sure.
And so why the young dudes got all the athletic ability, right? And all the energy and stronger and quicker, you learn how to find little cheating mechanisms as a veteran that gives you the edge because you may not be as quick. And so you may have to do this in order to get there because you know that he's going to bite on that move. You know what I mean? Or you can start playing more of a mastermind game with these kids. And imagine if Moses Brown saw that.
Yeah.
Right. Imagine if some of these young point guards saw that from a veteran point guard, just like, damn, old school out there getting busy. You know what I mean? And it's teaching them how to get busy with their talent and having them with them every day in practice and just sharing. Like you look at Chris Paul and what he meant to OKC with Shy. You know what I mean? And now you look when Chris Paul.
BD, you went mute. Can y'all hear him?
No, I lost him for a second. But yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah,
so
I feel
it's
you.
not like, you know, one more year with Chris Paul and them rocking together. This kid's an all-star. We was talking about this kid being an all-star last year.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And so you need sometimes that anchor, man, because, you know, it give that young dude that sense of freedom and less responsibility. You know what I mean? And also somebody they can talk to, right? Because if you put the coach there, it fucks up the relationship, right? Because your coach can't be your homie. Your coach can't be your friend. Your coach can't side when you wrong and then tell you what you need to do right. You know what I mean? You know, like a coach can't tell you right and the head coach is wrong. You feel what I'm saying? Like it ain't none of that. So, you know, it just kind of disrupts like the energy to and it also like just bring down a level of competitiveness too, because it's not about strategy. It's really about who's scoring the most. And that's what, you know, that's what you're really watching right now.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. That's really interesting. Can I ask a question? Like who were in terms of like your vets? I know when we interviewed you, you mentioned Eddie Jones as being like one of those guys that was like one of those vets that you really love. But my question is like, how old were the vets that you guys had when you guys had your vets? Does that make sense? Like the vets now are like 27, 28. When you were 27, 28, how old were the vets that were playing still in the league? Or who were some of those guys? Okay.
Like when I was 19, I'm sure Eddie Jones then was like 27 or approaching 30 or whatnot.
Yeah.
But we had like Otis Thorpe. We had Hersey Hawkins. You know what I mean? So it was like, damn, dude, like Hersey Hawkins, and he be kicking people ass in practice. You know what I mean? And he like all the older dudes would just kick your ass in practice because if they not playing, they gonna be ready for practice. Like the Knicks that one year when the Knicks with Melo, that was a veteran team. Kurt Thomas, Jason Kidd, you know what I mean? And they were towards the end of their careers. You had Raymond Felton after that. You know what I mean? You had Melo, Kenyon Martin, right? So it was like a good mix, a good hybrid mix of guys who you can still get some shit out of, right? With some veteran guys who can anchor you up with some young promising talent, right? That can have the freedom to just make mistakes, but also like win a basketball game. That's how you build a winning team. And that's how winning teams are built. And if you look at the teams who win the championship, that's the way they built.
Yeah, good mix. It's interesting. Some teams it looked like were trying to do that this offseason, the Atlanta Hawks, with all this young talent like Trae Young and John Collins, but then they added in a lot of veterans to that mix, guys like Rondo and Gallinari, and
but
it wasn't
you
really
paid them. You paid them in, right? So when you go and buy and purchase a free agent on the open market, that's a vet. And that vet has a earning capacity higher than the younger kid, but the younger kid has more promise, right? You better have the right veteran, and he better have some game. You know what I'm saying? He better have some game, like, and it got to be the right fit, right?
Yep.
You know, Rondo was not the right fit for Atlanta, right?
No.
They did
Yeah,
not
I thought that
need
as well.
Rondo. Trae Young does not need Rondo, you know,
Right.
to back him up, right? Rondo is a starting point guard. God damn it. Ain't nobody in the league seen that. Like, Rondo is still a starting point guard, right? Until you find that young dude that basically can put him on the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
I
Atlanta
mean,
they didn't need Rondo, and Atlanta didn't need Gallinari.
I agree.
right.
I agree on both of that.
They just had money and was like, we got to spend it.
Yeah, it was man, instead of going and get some older vets, giving them a last run or two, you know what I mean? And like, man, ain't nothing but 10, 15 minutes a game. You steal it.
Yeah, but like you said, we talked about Rondo. I mean, I thought the Clippers should have signed him in the offseason. So I'm excited now that he's landed there, because that is what we've been saying all along. The Clippers need a leader, they need a point guard, and they got both in Rajon Rondo. So hopefully he comes back healthy. Yeah. And that playoff Rondo, that's a different player than regular season Rondo. It's a different level of intensity and focus, and that's where the Clippers lost it last year. So we'll see if he can be the difference this year. We got some big games.
A quick question though,
yeah,
about the Lou Will part of it. Like, Lou Will is gone. Lou Will spent a long time. I mean, in LA between the Lakers and the Clippers.
He was pissed. Did you see that too?
I mean, I remember imagine. So he put on Instagram
retired.
Yeah, no, he put on Instagram that his last stop was playing for the Clippers. He said that about a month ago. And I remember I have a show called The New Show in LA where we talk the Clippers every week. And I brought that up to one of the fellow reporters, Cam Buford. And he was like, man, nobody wants to hear that. Like, he going to play wherever they tell him to go. And when he got traded, I literally was like, man, is Luke going to retire? Because that team is not a team that's really... Like,
he did say my last stop is Louisville, though. ATL is Louisville.
Okay.
ATL Louisville. He said my last stop. I did respect the fact that the Clippers tried to send Lou somewhere where I think he can be comfortable at. ATL is his home. Obviously,
but they can use him, bro.
Exactly, that too. That too.
They can use him. Yeah. They need that hybrid guard.
Another ball handler.
So when Trae Young is out, you can put the ball in Lou Will's hands. And Lou Will can get you the same type of bucket, passes, things like that. So that made Atlanta better.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but he was upset. He said he might retire when he thought about it.
You look at the way that he was being used with the Clippers. It was just like if he Lou Will don't fit with Kawhi and Paul George there because he can't get his mix in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
he also took 4 less shots a game this year in Ty Lue's new system. He took last year he was taking 16.6 shots, I believe. This year he's taking, I think, 12.3, or he was when he was a Clipper. And his points dropped by 8 points or 6 points a game too.
But and when you look at it, is really just look at his time with the ball.
Yeah, they got him standing over there in the corner now.
He's an on-ball player.
Right.
He needs that rock so he can, get that feel, get that rhythm. You know what I mean? It may take him a minute to get there, but once he get there, it's you got to win, right?
For
and
sure.
I had a luxury with him doing that with the Clippers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got some big games this week, like we talked about, and they start tonight. The Clippers are taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's take a look at some of the games of the week that are coming up here in the association. We got some big ones. Clippers Bucks tonight. The Nuggets and Sixers.
Aren't you covering that game tonight, Jason?
That's right. I am on behalf of you, on behalf of Hoops and Brews. So thank you for that. The media has hooked up. I have not seen live basketball in person in a year, and it is driving me crazy.
Well, you will in 5 hours. You'll be able to see Giannis
too. To the game?
I'm going to the game tonight. I'm going to Staples. That's right. Hoops and Brews correspondent. You're looking at him right here. That's right.
You wear a GoPro cam.
You got one?
A GoPro cam or on my head? All right, let's do it.
On your hat.
Okay, great.
I mean, they let you bring it in there. You can bring a camera in there if you have one. If you have a point and shoot, you can bring it in there. So man, enjoy it. Like, seriously, enjoy it. Seeing Giannis. Have you seen Giannis in person before?
I have seen him play a few times.
So you understand. Yeah, so you understand how it is seeing that. So enjoy it.
For sure.
When he dunks on someone, just think about me. That's all I ask.
Who wins tonight? Clippers.
I will.
Bucks.
Oh man,
Bucks.
Clippers. Rondo plays. Clippers win.
Is Rondo playing?
I don't know if he is because I didn't. I was busy during the pregame. The shoot around, but still.
The Clippers take the Clippers some massaging.
Yeah.
Once Rondo click in, and once they get that attitude, they're gonna be all right.
They are
I'm
going to be all
gonna just
right.
make one point about Clippers and Rondo. I'm happy Rondo was a guard because then when everybody said they needed a point guard, I agree, but I think it needs to be the right point guard. And I also think, like BD said, Rondo is a guard who has a defensive mind state. And one of the issues with the Clippers is defense. I've seen too many times guards walk in the Staples Center and just walk out with 30. Both years. So the fact that Rondo is a guy who can actually, just navigate that side of the ball is one thing that I think will really help them as well.
He's one of the reasons the Lakers are the defending champs right now is because of what he did in the bubble, in the playoffs.
I think he made the biggest play in the Rockets series when he took the charge on Russ and got Russ's 5th foul. And then after that, Bron kept switching Russ onto him, and Russ wasn't going to foul out because he's like, I'm Russ. And like Bron ran up 8 straight points on Russ, and the series was never the same. That's when it was a 1-1 game. It was like a play late in the third quarter. So just things like that Rondo can bring to the scene.
Yeah, they're going to need that for sure. Well, we got big games coming up this week in the league. You see that?
Almanac.
That's right. Yeah. He remembers the play that happened.
Yeah,
the moment. That is right.
Yeah.
And the Clippers, we talked about them a lot tonight. They got a big week ahead. 3 tough games. They're taking on the Bucks tonight. They got the Nuggets on Thursday, and then their rival in the same city, the Lakers, who obviously will be without LeBron. We'll see if AD's back and Drummond is playing.
I'm not gonna lie, the Lakers gonna win that game, and Laker Nation is gonna cut a promo on the internet. Watch. Remember, I said that the Lakers are gonna win that game, and Laker Nation is gonna cut a promo.
I think you're gonna cut a promo.
No. Listen, Drummond gonna randomly have 20 and 15. Schroeder gonna drop 30 because watch. Remember, I said that.
We're recording this.
Let me stop you. How many championships the Lakers have?
17 now.
All right, Dad. It ain't petty.
BD, can I ask you a question?
Whatever they doing, it ain't
right.
BD, can I ask you a question?
Okay, I agree with that.
Okay.
BD.
So reel that line all the way back.
Okay,
in.
you're right.
Come on, bro.
BD, can I ask you one question? Because with Andre Drummond, the man goes out there, he was averaging 18 and 14. If I tell you somebody's averaging 18 and 14, to me, that seemed like something you want on your squad. The Pistons gave him away pretty much for nothing. The Cavs literally cut the man because they couldn't find a deal for him. Why does it seem like nobody wants Andre Drummond?
One, because if you look at the team he played on with the Pistons, you got a high motor center, right? That is probably your most athletic and will perform as your best player when he's not your best player. Then when you go to Cleveland, you realize he's older. And so he probably, because he's been the best player and he gets the numbers, he's going to demand a certain type of touches and voice and things like that. When you put him on the Lakers, he's not the best player. He's not the second best player. You know what I mean? He
might not even be the third best player.
League, the third best player, right? He's probably not even the fourth best player.
Jesus.
Kuzma better than him?
He has the most energy, and he is a performer. But as far as playing the game, he's not a better basketball player than fucking Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol can make him better. So he's always been the best performer or the best force on the team, but nobody made him better, right? Because he's never played with anybody who's better than him or better. You know what I mean? So whatever their basketball, even though they're better basketball players, their basketball playing is not superior to his energy and his output.
That's true.
You dig what I'm saying? So now you got AD. Now you got LeBron. Now you got Marc Gasol. Now you start getting players, right, around him where that same – now unlock his energy.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing that gave Dwight Howard the chance to come back and now be that key component in everybody's system, right? He struggled in Houston because people wanted him to be the man. And it was just like, dude, as the game changed, you have to understand your value. And then if you can find the right value, right? It took Dwight Howard from damn near being out the league to come back to the league to sacrificing and saying, yo, I just want to win a championship, for us to buy back into Dwight Howard and all the great shit that he was able to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think the same thing with Andre Drummond, right? When you got AD getting double teamed and you got Andre Drummond under the rim dunking and tipping the ball, them offensive rebounds are fucking dunks and tip-ins. And if he getting 18 rebounds and 20 points and 20 rebounds for the Clevelands in Detroit, all the Lakers need is 8.
Yeah.
That's all they need. 8 points, 8 rebounds, a block or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, are you right? Literally, like without if you put together Dwight and JaVale from last year, that's pretty much what you get. You get about 8 and 8, or about 10, or about 10 and 8. You know what I mean?
This dude's capacity,
his
energy, his athleticism, right? His love for the game, right? His love for wanting to do the big man shit, the dunks and all that. Man, this dude, he gonna take off.
Yeah. This is a fantasy basketball show here, and Andre Drummond has been one of the most dominant fantasy basketball players over the last couple of years. But that's not what the Lakers need from him. As BD's saying, they need him to be a great basketball player. They don't need him to be the man, to be the star. They just need him to be the big man, the role player, a defensive specialist, a rebounder. And his fantasy numbers are going to take a hit, but it will rise his basketball IQ and ability with the Lakers championship.
I feel bad for whoever had him in fantasy.
He don't even need all that shit. He don't even need all that. He just got to show up with his energy and his athleticism, run that floor like he do, and just play his game. He ain't got to be a smart player. He just got to do him.
Yep.
He got enough smart basketball players around.
Yeah,
go rebound, bro.
Like, he gonna rebound. He gonna run this court. He gonna block these shots. He gonna dunk. We throw it into him. He gonna get a bucket, and he gonna play hard as he's ever played in his life, because we don't need you to play the whole game.
Right.
Yeah. And also, if he plays well and they repeat this year, they might be willing to re-sign him next year. Because also, if he's coming off of just like this veteran minimum, pickup from the buyout, I think he's in a very interesting, situation. If the Lakers can repeat and he's someone where we look, we talk about him this year the way people talked about Rondo when the Lakers won, last year. I think that takes his value through the roof, and he might not be worth a max to teams anymore, but he could go somewhere else that's not hopefully a terrible team and still, I think, be a viable option, because you're like, okay, cool. You now know how to be a third option. And as what BD said, you're right. He never played with anybody else better than him. Who's been better than him? Blake wasn't even better than him because Blake was hurt.
Blake didn't have the energy, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Blake was better than him. He just didn't have, he couldn't outperform that kid. That kid is performance based. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want some numbers, he gonna get it. You know what I mean? If you put the right people around him, he gonna be a rock star.
Off subject.
He'll be the third All-Star for the Lakers.
Okay.
He'll wind up being the third best player for the Lakers.
Off subject, Jeff T just signed with the Bucks. I don't know if anybody cares, but Jeff T just signed with the Bucks.
That does nothing
That's
for
not
them.
what they need, bro.
Thank you. That does nothing for them.
I was just throwing it out
Chris
there.
Middleton is still shouldering, and I love Drew Holiday because he's been killing. But Chris Middleton is still like, he's shouldering all the offense from the wing position.
Mm-hmm.
You need a wing, yo. You need a wing.
Yeah, I think they try to use Giannis too much in that hybrid big man.
Powell. They could have used a Norman Powell.
Now that would have been nice, but I don't think the Raptors would have traded him to the Bucks just because of
they got Austin. Austin just signed.
Who? Austin Rivers?
Austin Rivers just signed.
Who?
He's not a
the
wing,
Bucks
bro.
with the Bucks.
Yeah, he's having
but I agree, BD.
Guard. He's a guard that plays with the ball and dribbles with the ball. You know what I mean? You need a wing, bro. You need a wing. You need a rebounder. You need somebody who can score. These dudes cannot score. They are decent players, but they cannot score. They have to score playing a certain way in a certain style, which means when they play as role players, the capacity for their greatness has to be box, right? And so now it becomes a mental game as if you hit a shot or not, because you're only getting 4, 5, 6. You know what I mean? So but the good thing about somebody like Austin Rivers, he's used to playing with that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he played with hard.
But at the same time, are you going to do your Austin Rivers thing in Milwaukee? Because if you do that, it's going to cost you. Because the Milwaukee Bucks are not as good as the teams that you played with before, that you were, as the Clipper teams when you were good on the Clipper team. You know what I mean? Or the Rocket team, right?
Right.
So when Austin Rivers does that for Milwaukee, and it becomes fool's gold. Because you don't want him.
Okay.
You don't want him being like the other guy. You want him to be like, yo, if he get off, we're gonna win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Totally. Well, it's going to be interesting, man. A lot of movement in the NBA in just the last 6-7 days. BD, thank you for that insight.
Hey, I'll be cutting them up.
Oh, he is just a samurai over here with his basketball intel. TPJ, thank you for producing.
I appreciate it. No worries.
Pabby, thank you for joining us from the balloon outlet store. We appreciate it, man.
Stay off the helium.
Yeah, stay off that helium, man.
I got you. I'll stay off the helium.
All right. Hey, good luck in fantasy, BD. We'll see if you can make the top 8 and make the fantasy playoffs. Okay.
I need this. Let's go, man. I need you to get this victory.
I got it. Don't worry. It's a wrap. They give the percentages. I'm at 91% chance I'm winning. I'm already celebrating. I'm going to the balloon shop after this, and I'm getting Pavy's balloons. I'm popping bottles with them. I got it. BD, have a good week, my man. Go UCLA. Go Bruins. I hope they're in the Final Four.
Let's get it.
We'll be rooting for you guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for Who Got Game. We will see you again next week, same time, same place, Monday, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Be sure, if you want to win those K-Swiss kicks, go to the SLiC Instagram, SLiC. There'll be a post all about it, letting you know what you got to do to win. We're giving them away next week. Check it out and check us out every week. Tell your friends, tell your mama. This is where you got to be. Who got game? You got game? We got game. We're out. Peace.
The streets when it's safe. Focus on the rap game, not the flow, I got it mastered.